We've all been there, standing in the makeup aisle, mesmerized by shimmering palettes and luxurious creams. But then, reality bites, along with the price tags. Suddenly, that DIY face mask using ingredients from your kitchen doesn't seem so crazy. In fact, it sounds kinda genius. There's a thrill in finding budget-friendly alternatives to expensive products. It's like unlocking a secret beauty code, and sometimes, the most unexpected ingredients can surprise you. Take Cheetos, for example. Yes, those cheesy, crunchy snacks. Who would have thought they could hold the secret to a sun-kissed glow? The internet, it turns out. A quick search reveals a world of beauty enthusiasts experimenting with Cheetos as bronzer. The idea is intriguing, if not a little bizarre. Could this be the ultimate DIY beauty hack? Or are we better off leaving our snacks in the pantry? I decided to find out. Welcome back to Glowenvy, your go-to spot for crazy beauty experiments, glam hacks, and all things fun. If you love testing out weird but possibly genius makeup tricks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. My journey into the world of Cheetos Bronzer began with a trip to the grocery store. I opted for the classic crunchy Cheetos, figuring their vibrant orange hue would translate well on the skin. Back home, I emptied the bag of Cheetos carefully so as not to crush them too much, and got to work. The first step was to create a fine powder. I placed a handful of Cheetos in a Ziploc bag and used a rolling pin to crush them. The result? A surprisingly fine orange dust. It definitely looked the part, but the real test would be in the application. Using a fluffy makeup brush, I dipped into the Cheeto powder and lightly dusted it onto my cheeks, forehead, and jawline, all the places the sun naturally kisses. The initial application was interesting. The Cheeto powder provided a subtle orange tint, but it wasn't exactly the bronzed goddess look I was going for. It lacked the warmth and depth of my usual bronzer. Plus, the texture was a little, well, powdery. It didn't blend as seamlessly as a traditional bronzer, and I found myself having to work a bit harder to avoid any streaks or patches. On the plus side, the Cheeto Bronzer did have a faint, cheesy scent. Not unpleasant, but definitely noticeable. Whether that's a pro or a con is up for debate. Overall, the Cheeto Bronzer wasn't a complete disaster. It provided a hint of color, but it lacked the depth, blendability, and staying power of a conventional bronzer. So, does Cheeto Bronzer really work? The verdict is in. It's a fun experiment, but not a replacement for your go-to bronzer. While it might work in a pinch for a subtle, temporary glow, it lacks the sophistication and staying power of a traditional product. That being said, there's something to be said for the creativity and resourcefulness of DIY beauty hacks. It's a reminder that beauty is about having fun, experimenting, and finding what works for you. And who knows, maybe with a little tweaking, Cheeto Bronzer could have its moment in the sun, or at least a moment in the snack drawer. If you love beauty experiments, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Glowenvy adventure. See you in the next one.